Them bitches. I'll tell you about them bitches. Right. Ass nigga. All this shit. Say. Dangerous. Or someone from hell surviving.
Alright, so first, could you introduce yourself?
Well, name's Ellis Houston. I'm 23 years old, and I was born in Huntsville, Texas. And I currently live in a remote village in the mountains in the north of Italy. And I kill bitches for a living. Well, more of a for surviving, if you know what I'm saying.
So, you are a survivor of the zombie apocalypse that occurred in 2012. Is it correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so can you tell us about the zombies?
Well, what kind of question is that anyway?
Well, it's,
Well, if your question is, how can you survive all this shit? Well, there's just 4 basic rules for that. First, you don't get out at night. The night belongs to them bitches, so you have to stay hidden in any place you can find. But remember, the safer the better, so try to pick a good spot. Then, after checking there's no bitches in the place you've chosen, you kill the lights. Otherwise, you're just letting them know your position. And you don't want that to happen now, do ya? Second, you stay sharp. And that means exercise every fucking day. Do sports to remain in good shape, but don't do too much, otherwise you're gonna get too hungry, and food is some sort of a luxury these days, so apart from being dead, the last thing you want to be is starving. Staying sharp also means maintaining your weapons. Unless you have a death wish, you do not want to get in a fight with a bitch with a weapon that can break any time. Third, save. Save as much as you can, whenever you can, whatever you can. Whether it's food, water, medicine, bullets, even clashes with bitches or with robbers, anything, just save. Keeping away from troubles remains the best way to stay alive. And at last, fourth, let yourself live a little. Because if you don't, you'll turn crazy. Now, I've seen many people becoming psychos because their only purpose in life was to survive. But what good is surviving if you can't enjoy being alive? More and more people are going insane. It's like a mental disease or something. They're forming groups of crazies, and those ones are even more dangerous than the bitches since they're fucking smart. And if they catch you alive, they're not as quick as the bitches to make you die. You know, they torture you first. Or they rape you if you're a woman. And they even eat your flesh. And they keep you alive so that the rest of your body doesn't rot. When they do, they're nothing more than a living meat safe. So, this is my house there. I secured it the first day I got here. And then I secured the one up front, this way. And, yeah, funny story about it. I'm pretty much the only one in that village. And, yeah, it was already kind of deserted when I got here. Except for this old bastard. Had a rifle. And who tried to shoot at me when I passed through the neighborhood. And so I had to kill him. Then I took his house, and it just stayed logical, you know.
So, can you tell us a little more about your life here?
Well, you know, people always think that surviving is somewhat of an adventure and of always being on the move, but it's not like that really. It's more of a deadly boring routine really. For example, my schedule is always the same. I mean, I wake up at 6, clean the garden, get rid of the corpses. I go hunting to feed myself. I also take care of my weapons, and as I said, this one's particularly important because that's what keeps you safe. And, you know, then I just cut some wood, you know, just to heat my place at night or whenever it's freezing. And then when the night comes, I just lock myself in the house to keep bitches from coming in, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fucking A.
Why do you keep referring to zombies using the word bitches?
Well, because they are bitches. What do you want me to say?
Okay, you might want to say a little more, because right now I'm telling you, this is not going on TV. So you gotta give me something to work with, okay?
Yeah, right, alright.
Okay.
Hey.
Alright, so, yeah. Anyways, how exactly did you end up in Italy?
Well, I was just on holidays with the family and some friends of mine to go sightseeing, as they call it. And that's just it.
Alright, so can you tell us a little more about the trip? I mean, what was the first contact you actually had with an infected individual?
Well, we'd been in the country, in this country for like a couple days, and without any particular problems though. And then we were in some sort of a mall, and all of a sudden there's that scream, and everyone is running, so I start running too. Don't even know why, I just do it. Feels like it's taken forever, and then I realized that half of the group I was with has disappeared. My mom, sister, Jerry, Frank, and Sam. Eventually I reached the car we'd rented for the trip. But before getting in, I turn around to see who's made it out of the mall, and that's when I see them. All my family and friends, except Richard. They're all there, covered in blood, screaming like their very soul is burning in hell, chasing that poor Richard, who's just a few yards away from the car. I know he's not gonna make it to that fucking car. I'm so afraid, you know. So I leave without him. Then I drive. For hours I drive without even knowing where I'm going. I wander till I get here. You ask why I call them bitches. What would you call someone who took away all your friends and family members forever?
Going in the forest is quite dangerous. There's a lot of them bitches in there, but because of all that vegetation, it's quite difficult to spot them. In the meantime, it's worth the shot because that forest provides me with food, with water, with wood. Simplons are even a great use as medicine. Actually, I started doing some trading, you know, food and shit against ammos. But going to the city is a long and dangerous trip, so I don't do it very often. Even though I really need ammos to kill bitches.
All good.
I love killing bitches. I mean, the adrenaline. So every time I stab, slice, shoot, or beat the hell out of a bitch, feels like I'm taking my revenge over them. You know, for all the bad things they've done. Do you know what I am? I'm a zombie is what I am. Like a cowboy, except that instead of taking care of cows, I take real good care of zombitches is what I do.
What are the hardest things you gotta face?
What do you mean, apart from massively getting cocksucking bitches from hell? Well, I'd say the hordes. It's like, zombies on strike demonstrating or something. Imagine thousands of them going through that village. Sometimes it takes them a few days to be completely gone, so you have to stay hidden for a few days, and trust me, you don't want to be a little short on supplies when those days come.
Have you ever had to face a horde?
As a matter of fact, I have. It was like 7 months ago. A lot of people died down in the valley. Well, I had to hide in my fucking basement for 5 days. When I finally got out, I almost couldn't remember what the sunlight looked like or how it felt when you're not afraid at night. At least not that afraid.
But in the end, isn't it just hard to live alone?
You know, I asked myself that question a long time ago, and you know what I realized? Life's just life, man. You know? I mean, sometimes I look at myself, I look at what I have here, and I think to myself, to hell with all that. I'm well here. Of course, not everything's good. Could be better. Can always be better. But when I look at the skies, at the forests, the little birds and all, I realize, well, that ain't so bad after all, is it? I left it all behind me. I'm just at peace, and life feels good.